Matt, a 2-0 win against Cambridge today. What was your thoughts on the performance?
Pleased with the 3 points. Obviously, I felt first half we didn't have any rhythm or control in our game. I'll take full responsibility of that. We probably focused too much this week on the nicer part of football. We've got to understand, and as manager and my staff, we've got to really understand what it's going to take to win games of football at home this season. And it's going to be pretty brutal at times. It'll be about the basics and being quick to the ball and competing and running and being full of energy. I just didn't feel we quite started the game like that. I mentioned it before the game to the players. Some of those players have been 10 days without a game, and sometimes you can, it doesn't sound a long time, but sometimes you can lose a bit of rhythm on the back of 3 games in 6 days. So a little bit lacklustre first half. I just felt if we got any sort of control we could hurt them. We did that second half, and it's testament to the boys to get through that first period, because it was a difficult time, and then come strong in the second half.
So it was a case of a half time just having to re-evaluate?
Yeah, definitely. Getting the players to understand where the value was, and as much as we want to play a beautiful game of football, conditions and pitch surfaces and opposition play a huge factor in that, and we weren't able to get any, I use the phrase all the time, any clean ball with any quality. Second half we got it more often in the attacking third, as simple as that, and we started to create, but we just toughened ourselves a little bit at half time. As much as that's my responsibility in terms of at half time, the players have got to recognise it during the game as well, but I've got to drip feed it into training. And it might mean a few more concussions and a few bangs of heads and a few more bangs of, bits and pieces and bruises, but they're going to have to compete more than they did to start that game. But to come through it when you're not at your best, far from your best, and get 3 points and relatively comfortable in the end, I can't say I'm not pleased.
Yeah, because although Cambridge had plenty of the ball in the first half, they didn't really trouble us too often.
Yeah, look, I thought, Azza and Tom and Pierce might not start the game brilliantly, but as soon as they realised they just had to defend, then they defended, and that's what you want from your most senior members at the back. And then all of a sudden Jake and Archie got to grips with the midfield, and it's a knock-on effect. You need something. I just felt Lee Martin had energy throughout and was an inspirational figure on that pitch to a certain extent. He gives so much, and then Ryan sort of fed off that, and he was a bit more physical in the second half and a bit closer to the ball and competed a little bit more. So that's a big time for us to get through that first half, because if you go in with a deficit or you go in behind, then it's a much more difficult second half. The fact that it was level is testament to that group of players, and then we got the first goal and we probably relaxed a little bit and got a bit more confidence back in our game, found a bit more of a rhythm. I keep using the same words, but it's the basics of football, it really is, and hopefully that's a real learning curve in terms of the dozen or so games we've got left at the park. Let's do the bare essentials first, and then let's play football on the back of that.
You mentioned Lee Martin there, and he had a part to play in the goal with a quick 1-2 with Nicky, and that just shows the creativity.
Yeah, definitely. But how many times did we get that ball in that area in the first half? So it's so old school, but you've got to earn the right to get the ball there. When we do get the ball there, we look like a dangerous team. Randall and Jaden and all the attacking players who want the ball at feet must have been frustrated in the first half, but don't be frustrated. Affect the game in a different way, and then you get your rewards off the back of it. So, look, we can digest that first half performance. I'm just so pleased we got through it and we've come through the game unscathed. Got a couple more academy products on the pitch again in terms of 2 home debuts, one for a 15-year-old and one for Joel Randall. Both deserved, and it's a good day for the club.
Yeah, mentioned that the two academy guys that came on, Joel has impressed this season.
He's been fantastic, he really has. He's been absolutely fantastic. Look, he started the season really well at Western. Any game he's played with ourselves, whether it be a reserve 23s or leasing game, he's impressed and he's ready to play now. Beggars a life out of me, he didn't get a run of games, or he didn't get a real opportunity when he went on loan at Weymouth. I'm not sure what sort of player they saw he was, but he's a fantastic talent, and we're delighted we've got him. And hopefully now he can stay close to the first team. There's obviously bodies to come back in terms of Lee Holmes and more attack-minded players, so we'll see how Jolie gets on, but he showed glimpses even in that short period of time. And then Ben's been training with us over Christmas period. Look, as manager of this football club, I've been frustrated because Ben's been on trial at so many different clubs, and he's not at his development stage with ourselves within the first team. Now he's had a few days with ourselves over Christmas because he's not been on trial, and all of a sudden we can look at him, we can assess him, and we can try and get him on the first team pitch.
It was also pleasing that Dino got 15 minutes towards the end.
Yeah, look, I didn't want to use him. Today was a risk. I just felt we had to show up and went to a back four. If he'd have got a yank on the shoulder, then it might have injured it again, but it's a risk I felt I had to take to make sure we got those 3 points. Hopefully he's got through it, and he'll be hopefully fully fit and closer to it when we go to Grimsby. So players coming back, I've just mentioned that Fish isn't too far away. Holmesy obviously played a short period of time on Thursday. We might be closer to a few more, one or two bodies coming into the club this week. So it felt like a young bench. I think there was 4 or 5 academy products on the bench. So you turn around, you see the baby faces behind you. But the credit must go to those players on the pitch. And like I say, they dragged each other through today.
Yeah, it's another home win and another clean sheet as well.
Home form is such a big marker in this league. Home form, first goal's key. Home form is absolutely key. Keep on plugging away in terms of that points. I've not seen the results, but that's 50 points now. So first of all, hopefully we're safe, so we can look forward to another season in the Football League. But to get to 50 points at a relatively early stage, I can't fault that group of players.